Hello everyone and welcome to Kdh Art Class. Let's keep working with our texture lessons. Texture, remember, is how something feels or looks like it feels. In art, we like to draw things to look very realistic. So if you're drawing a hedgehog, not the video game one, but a real hedgehog you would see at the zoo, you would want it to look like it was spiky. So you would have to create that texture with drawing. So not only would the hedgehog feel spiky, but if you were to draw it, it would look like it would feel spiky. We obviously wouldn't do bumpy or feathery soft if we want something to look spiky. So you have to create the texture visually if you're not actually going to create the three-dimensional texture. So in this one, we're going to do a real quick collage and then do a rubbing from it. Once you have the rubbing, then you can make that a little more fancy. So I actually rubbed the texture from this onto this, and then I chose what I wanted to emphasize, make stand out more than the rest. I emphasized these two little areas here, and then just kind of wrote in extra little words. It looked very earthy, just reminded me of an Earth Day type project that we could do later on. So there you go. Who knows where my mind goes when I'm working on this. All right. So in a previous video, we actually created collages using organic and geometric shapes. So we're just going to do a simplified version of this and do a rubbing. So with this, if you have glue, any kind of glue, stick or liquid, that would be fine. You're going to need crayons that you can peel and rub, at least one color, and some additional paper. I'm going to use construction paper because I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. If I just use white paper, which you can use white paper, you wouldn't be able to see the difference on my video. Okay, so I have my scrap paper, I have my glue, and I have my crayon. So let's just do something real simple and create our beautiful artwork from there. I need my piece of paper. I'm going to take my leftover scraps here. As you can see, all my organic and geometric shapes have been cut from here. And I want to just make something kind of simple. It does not matter what color. I just love to use up bits and pieces of my paper for shapes. These look like these might be some good shapes that I'm starting to put together here. Ooh, I could use this little shape here. Some of those. I don't know. I'm just going to make a simple little flower shape. So I'm thinking of what would my petals look like going around my flower. Be fun to have some like little crazy ones going on here and there. So, forgive me. Probably don't want it to be quite that long, so there's a few more. Okay, now I just need the center of my flower, and I can just do a simple shape. Ooh, I know it would be kind of fun. Alright, so to make my center, I'm going to do a circle using 3 pieces of paper. No, you don't have to do this, but this is a neat little technique. Okay. I'm going to keep one that size, and then I'm going to cut smaller. So I'm just going to follow the edge around. Try and keep it about the same distance all the way around. You know, for that. And then now I have this one, and I need to make this one smaller. So I'm just going to cut around it. All the way around. So that way I don't have to remember how big or small I made something. Okay, so I just have these pieces. And like I said, I'm just going to make a little flower. Obviously that's going to be the center of my flower. And these are going to be the petals. So again, those that are not familiar with white glue, you have a little tip that sticks out the top. Mine happens to be white. I'm going to twist the cap, the very top of it, until that goes away inside. Alright, then I'm going to do the test. Yes, I hear it breathing. Alright, so I know it's going to work. It might take a few seconds for it to come all the way down, but I'm going to start with my smallest one. Touch my paper, don't hold it away from it. Touch my paper and just barely squish on it. Don't push hard. Alright. More glue just means it's going to take longer to dry, and it's going to be messier. Alright. There you go. So I have those. Alright, again with these, I'm not that worried about the color, but you never know. And you can use a glue stick, of course. Looks like I have 4 purple pieces, so I just said I wasn't going to worry about it. Well, guess what? I'm worrying about it. 2, 3, and this one, little shark fin looking thing. 4. Now this blue happens to be the same shape as this one, so I'm going to put it in on a different part of the flower. Just like this one is the same shape as that one, so I think I'm even going to use the back side of it. You know what I need to do? I need to leave a little extra space because I need a third color. Go in there. I'm over engineering this. Actually, I'm just trying to talk out loud how my brain is working. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and moving along. My last color. Yes, I'm so glad some of you have already recognized the fact that these are the cool colors. And right now I'm just seeing what size fits best in which little area. There we go. And back to my little circle. Alright, you are creating your own flower. It should not look exactly like mine. And maybe you're not doing a flower. Maybe you're doing the sun. I know there's some boys that aren't that keen on that. I think I now need a stem. Let's see. I think it'd be fun if my stem was kind of wonky looking. And I am using multiple pieces of paper. I'm not even sure why right now, I just am. So you can't see that very well, so let me just use the red one. Looks like a good little stem there. This is such a cool shape. I will use this and these elsewhere. And again, just add a little glue. Alright, so here's part one of this project. Voila. I've got to give it a few minutes to dry. So in the process, I'm going to clean up, or while that is drying, I'm going to go ahead and clean up and still let it dry a little bit. Keep squishing it down. Doesn't have to be super dry, but it does need to be pretty dry. And now I need another piece of paper. I'll just show you how to tear paper. I think I showed you in one of the other episodes, but again, it's kind of fun. If you don't have scissors or you cannot cut a very straight line, I lined up my corners, folded, and then I can use my finger, or you could even use like a smooth part of something like a marker, or even a lot of people use bone folders, but it's a little bit, let's start cheap. If you like it, you can get into that. Even the smooth part of your scissors. Anyway, it's going to pinch it really, really perfectly squished. And then open it up, repeat it on the other side. Find something to just really squish it down. And if you have nothing else, use your fingernail just to kind of squish it down really good. Be careful that your fingernail doesn't scratch it or tear it. Alright. And then, I think that's enough times. Then you start at the top, very slightly pulling, and voila, it tears beautifully along those broken fibers. Alright, so I wanted it in half because I wanted it to be the same size when I do my texture rubbing. You could have used a full piece of paper, or even a quarter piece of paper, whatever you have, use it. Alright, here's the fun part. Now, I have this, I glued pieces on. I'm going to take this flat piece and I'm going to put it on top. Parents, you may need to hold this for a pre-K or a kindergartner. First grade ought to do pretty good. And just hold it down flat. Then take one of your crayons without the wrapper on it, lay it down sideways like it's taking a nap, and then you're going to just start rubbing, and voila, your beautiful picture and again, make sure you keep your crayon flat. Now I'm just going to go one direction, one direction, one direction, and I think I'm going to do that going out from the center of my flower, just to help keep my paper from moving around as much. And congratulations, we are now using the knowledge of our texture rubbings that we practiced before to create a duplicate of ours. Now here's the fun part. When you look at your picture, and remember I used one that we did before, and I just love this shape, so I had to just trace it. So when I rubbed it, that's where the shape was, and I traced it because it had this nice little edge here, easy to do my lines on. And then when I was done, it was kind of boring. It was the only thing there. So I looked at it from different angles and I went, you know, it'd be kind of fun to do it this way. And I found this fun shape here. And I wanted to emphasize it. I wanted it to come at me and come out. Now you notice there's no stem, but I did follow the edge of this one and where it kind of curves there and created that. And I didn't make this leaf as long, I just made it a little bit shorter. You have that choice. You are the artist. You're in control of this stuff. Okay. And then once I had those two areas emphasized, then I looked at it and went, you know what, I have enough room to put words in there. Lately, I'm all about adding words. You do not have to. You could emphasize more pieces in there or all of the pieces. That's up to you. So I'm looking at my beautiful flower and I'm wondering, what can I emphasize? I can use marker, I can use crayon, I can use colored pencil at this point. Any of these things are fine. What do I have? Ooh, I have a dark blue. Maybe I want to do, emphasize the center of my flower a little bit more. And remember, I had 3 rings, so I could do all 3 of those circles. It's right there. It's a matter of tracing. Alright, now that's starting to come out, I could even choose to follow all my little petals. And I think I'm just going to use this blue as my shadow. Just me and my shadow. And look, I'm not worried about the colors, even though they were different colors. Actually, we know that's a lie. I was very much focused on where to put my colors and my different shapes. Uh-oh, kind of got off of my track there. All right, there we go. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and add that there. And if I want to, because of my artistic choices, I could sit there and add a few more that I wasn't able to cut. I just think it needs a nice extra layer there going around. And it's out and in. That's all. I wiggle it a little bit because I don't want it to be a straight triangular line. You might want it to be a straight triangular line. But that big hole was what inspired me to keep adding my little layers. Okay. And just going and going. Adding my colors. What colors do I have? Let's see. Indigo, maybe. Green, I don't know. How about a little green tinting, edging? I think the crayon will work better. This would take forever. When I do my large areas, I immediately think about my crayons. They're bright, they're beautiful, and they cover a big area completely. The reason I'm letting this video keep running, because normally I would let you do your own creative ability, because I want you to really kind of think about your different areas. And if I don't demonstrate that, it's going to be hard for you to think about it, because you may not understand what I'm talking about. There we go. I didn't color the whole thing in. If you did, and you suddenly were like, but Miss Howard didn't do it, that's okay. You can take other colors and mix it in a little bit. Or go on top of, I could go on top of some of my green with this green yellow. And now I can be coming in with my blue violet. And emphasize these extra little areas that I added. Trace around it and then color inside of it. Trace around it, then color inside of it. Trace around it, then color inside. Trace around. Trace around, then color. Trace around, then color inside. That one was kind of easy, it was so skinny. And you see how that center, it just needs something bright. Trace around it as best as I can. And please use any color that you want. I think I might go a little bit lighter. And do I go full on yellow? Again, bringing in kind of those fiery colors that I did there. Oh, how fun is that turning out? I need to do a little blending in there to show you crayons can give you great depth. So basically, I'm just right here next to my circle, kind of following my petals. And I'm coming out like you would do the sun rays. And I'm not making them all the same length. Some are longer, some are shorter. I like to turn my paper, so it's kind of hard for me to do this without turning my paper a little bit. Please feel free to turn your paper. So that's starting to come out, and how fun would it be to do another color? I wonder if this would be light enough. Coming in from this end, the little tips. Same way, just kind of have them going towards the center. Some long, some short. Yeah, and I think I did those already. I might even just take, how about a light orange? And just barely touch my crayon, because I still want some of my background color to come through. See how that just, oh, it's gorgeous. Gorgeous. Love it. Just brightens it up. And I want to go a little bit on that red violet and a little bit on my pink. That's where some of the blending happens. You see how the flower is just starting to come off the paper? And anybody can do this, even the little ones. Start them early. Let's start them using lots of different colors on top of each other. But not every color. And keep sticking to my very warm or analogous colors here. My warm colors are my reds, oranges, and yellows, and pinks. And right next to red is purple on the color wheel. Let's see, what am I talking about? There's all of my red, oranges, and yellows, and next to red is purple. So all of them next to each other, they look good together. Green and yellow look good together. So we got the green and yellow going on down here. All right, folks. I hope you enjoyed transferring your collage onto your paper and then emphasizing parts of it to make it stand out more. Isn't learning art fun? There's a cool scientific twist to it too. I look forward to doing more projects with you. Have a great day. Bye.